So I've had some time to think about, look over the forklift. I've taken stuff apart. I fixed the, it looks like they missed tighten down these bolts. So these bolts right here on the exhaust, they missed tighten all three. So surprisingly, the forklift works much more quiet now that the exhaust is completely on. I do see a couple of problems, modifications that I'm going to need to make. A fire extinguisher, so I'm thinking I'm going to put it right here. That looks like it's the best spot for it. I got to do some wiring management, like this stuff right here. These little sticky pads. Yeah, they work great in, you know, inside somewhere like a house or something. On dirty equipment that's going to get hot and vibration, that thing's going to fall off, and all of this is just going to dangle and jiggle. So yeah, I got to work on that. So I got to do some just little wiring things. Like you can see these wires are all loose right here. Like it's okay for if you're just running around the yard, but if you're going to go in the orchard, it's going to rip it right out. And then here, this is the biggest problem that I see with ours right now, is that the clamp right now, they moved. So this is the old one. This is how they had it before. It wasn't a big deal. They were on the outside. Now on the inside, what they did, they moved it in. First of all, it's blocking even more view of the inside so you can see the forks. But the biggest problem is we have A-framers, and we need our forks to be right in the middle of the mast. So this is, we just moved bees with this one so you can see where they are. So I could try to run it offset like that, but then the clamp is off. And also I have to cut the clamp and shorten it because this is made for like 10 framers. We need to shorten it. So I got some decisions to make of what I want to do. Do I want to make it like that? Do I want to do something inside here? So some decisions to make. Overall, I'm pretty happy with the machine, but the wiring, once again, is all, yeah, I mean, this is janky wiring. It's been ripped out more than once on mine. On mine, this is how I make ours. So these are combination red lights to the side, to the front, and then you have spotlights. Same thing on the bottom. Also the tie downs. We have to work on that. So these are my tie downs for here. These are my red lights, and this is my wiring right here. So it's inside of a metal case tubing. That way, because you're pushing, when you're going through the orchards, the tree limbs are coming around and they're trying to snag at it. So this works. That will fail. I know that because I have 2 of these forklifts and both of them got the wires ripped out of them. So we will change that. And one more thing, this tie down idea that they had. Oh, this is bad. Not good. I would never tie it down like this. There's 2 problems with that. First of all, you're attaching it to hydraulic cylinder, so if you pull it down on this is pulling on the hydraulic cylinder as you're going down the road. Second of all, these bypass leak inside. So this will, if there's force on this, it will actually let go and it'll start falling. So you get, if you're driving more than a couple hours, this will get loose. The better idea is to put it right here. So we're gonna make it like this one, where it's not a problem. It's close enough and it holds it down. I mean, these are small details, but that's what makes it, you know, moving bees from a nightmare to, you know, takes you 20 minutes to load and load the forklift. So I gotta get to work. I'm gonna try to get this dialed out. So I'm gonna start cutting on the brand new forklift. All right. All right, so this is what we got so far. took this guy down. It was a little bit too heavy to lift, so I just dropped it. So now I gotta figure out how I want to mount it. I'm gonna do the outside, or should I do something, thinking about maybe a square inside of a square. Well, gotta take it a little bit more apart, and then yeah, we'll get to it. Here we go. So I got the moving part of the mast off. So it just uses these two rollers, and then the chain just pulls it on those. So if you want to see what a mast looks like without the inside part, here we go. And you can see there's a lot of visibility on that. So we're going to try to preserve as much of that as possible. Alright, now I just got to figure out what I'm going to do next. Alright, so I think I'm going to go with the square tube in the middle. We'll see how that works. This guy is 55 inches. Looks like they didn't make it go all the way in. I don't know why. 55, so I can take at least 2 away. Double check, because that tube is expensive. It's a seamless 2-inch or 2.5-inch tubing. So 55 minus 2, 55. Set the flow rate. So this is a seamless tube right here. So I can put another tube that will slide up and down on it. And that'll work. So now I just need the inside tube, and we should be good to go. Alright, this is what I got going on. This is going to be the outside tube. The cylinder is going to sit right behind it, and this is going to be the inside part. Now, it's a pretty thick wall. It's about 0.2 of an inch thick, but I think I need a little bit more rigidity. I think this will be fine, but just to be on the safe side, I'm going to put another piece inside of it, and then I'm going to just plug weld it. So I got this down to size, fits in there nice and snug. I'm going to clean this up, clean this guy up, plug weld it, and then probably next time I'm here, I'm going to take that apart, weld it all together, put it all back together. Alright, here we go. Alright, so here we go. Here's the plug welds. It looks pretty straight to me. You want to make your plug welds as even as possible. I flipped it over and made 2, and then it did 2, and then so on and so forth. Alright, I'm gonna get out of here. It's Friday. I still gotta clean up. So I'll pick this up on Monday, and hopefully we'll make it run. I really did not like that the mast was sitting here, so made the central tube. So this is a 2.5-inch tube, and then a 2-inch tube you saw me earlier weld together. We'll put this guy, we put the hydraulic cylinder aside. Here's how it looks on the inside. So So I just took the original blocks that were welded right here. I took them off. I shaved them down a little bit and I put them right there. I had to have 2 of the hoses that go to the actual cylinder redone. So I made one right here that holds it, like the short one. So the short one goes from here, loops around, and goes to the bottom. And I just made it so it doesn't swing out, because otherwise when it would go down, it would hit this guy right here. So, and then the top one, the cylinder sideways, so that way the hoses are facing you. And then what I ended up doing was, the side hoses originally are here, so I moved them all to the center, put the wheels in the center, and then I put this nice wrapping around here, so that way you get the maximum visibility of this guy. So you get a still pretty good view. Now what I'm working on is I'm going to be welding on some D-rings to here like this. And then for the back one, they have a couple of loops over here, but it's a little bit too far down, a little bit too inconvenient. So I decided that I'm going to put a couple of D-rings like this welded on. That way you can just click on the hook and ready to go. So the way I'm going to actually set these guys is I'm going to use this cheap scale, or level I should say. I'm going to zero it out to this fender, because the forklift is not straight because I'm on uneven ground. And then what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put it on the D-ring, and then I'm going to set it to about 30 degrees. That looks like that's close enough to 30 degrees. It's about 29.6. And the reason I want it maybe not at a 45, or why I don't do flat, is because I want to create a triangle here. That way it's pulling the load from both of these instead of just the top, and then it has to resist because it's going to be pulling it down this way. So I want to give a little bit of structural integrity here, but I don't want to do it at 45. 45 would be ideal, but it's going to be inconvenient to hook the hook. So I'm kind of picking the best of both worlds. Looks pretty good to me. I got the tie downs, I got the clamps mostly, so I'm gonna try making new lights. I ordered some Baja lights, so I'm gonna go with amber lights, and I'm gonna go with red light. So that's it for now. Thanks for watching.